New mask.
Hello, and thanks for joining us here at CBR. Robert Downey Jr. will be rejoining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this time playing one of Marvel's most infamous supervillains, the powerful, scheming Dr. Doom. Also returning are Joe and Anthony Russo, who previously directed the two-parter mega hits, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. All of which is to say that with a talented actor taking on Doom and two track record proven directors means that Avengers Secret Wars, due out in 2027, will likely be the grand climax of the MCU's multiverse saga. Let's take a closer look at what we can expect from Avengers Secret Wars.
Victor, no!
Rumors abound that Dr. Doom, or perhaps his former self, Victor Von Doom, will appear in a minor capacity within 2025's The Fantastic Four First Steps. Although there is enough evidence to suggest that an already active Fantastic Four, along with Silver Surfer and Galactus, are more than enough to crowd out the scenery. In the comics, Victor Von Doom's arduous trajectory ultimately places him alongside Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, who becomes Doom's classmate and later worthiest opponent.
And outsmarted the great Reed Richards.
If First Steps at least flashes back to the college years in Hageman, New York, then Victor will appear to lay some of the groundwork before he takes over the MCU in Avengers Doomsday, the first of the new Avengers duology. If this chance encounter is ignored until a later date, then fans should expect some heavy myth-building in Avengers Doomsday. Before Secret Wars gets underway, Doomsday has its work cut out for it. Thankfully, the film will be helmed by Joe and Anthony Russo, who have already shown just how good they are at managing several moving parts, even cleverly paring down essential teammates for Endgame. What remains to be seen, however, is just how Doomsday will avoid being too much like the previous two Avengers films. Another major setback is the decision to nix Kang altogether, following Jonathan Majors' controversies. All of this could potentially mean that Doomsday will have to start from square one, establishing enough of Dr. Doom's origin, solidified motives, and his personality in order to make up for several films worth of material that the MCU cannot retroactively offer.
You dare trespass on Latvian soil?
In all likelihood, Doomsday will be heavily centered around Victor Von Doom's life in Latveria before he ever crossed paths with the Fantastic Four, charting his early years and how he came to don the Iron Mask. From there, fans will find out just what his motives are, but if Secret Wars title offers any hints, then it's, wait for it, to control the world. Simple enough for a supervillain. But Dr. Doom's actions are more intriguing when people learn about his origins, how his parents died, how he discovered magic, his time in New York, and how he became the ruler of Latveria. Once all of the pertinent details are laid out, Secret Wars can get underway. Whatever Doomsday's grand finale will be, fans can expect a real nail-biter of a cliffhanger to set up its sequel. Dr. Doom probably won't snap away half of existence, but he will get closer to enacting a plan of world, possibly even universal domination.
Indeed it does.
Across three different crossover titles, from Secret Wars 1984, Secret Wars 2 in 1985, and 2015's Secret Wars, there is plenty of material to pull from. However, given that these Avengers films will reportedly wrap up the multiverse saga, it's likely that this upcoming cinematic adaptation will take most of its cues from the 2015 edition of the event. In 2015, Marvel's main universe, Earth 616, was on the brink of smashing into other Earths, thanks to abundant incursions, which are well established in the MCU.
So, this is New York and the multiverse.
It's too late for the MCU to retcon everything related to Kang, and thankfully they won't have to. The most important thing established across Kang's multiple appearances is the potential of the multiverse. Kang's multiples, along with Doctor Strange's own incursion-related experiences, mean that there are endless variations of each character, which can cause more than just audience confusion. Most importantly, within the 2015 Secret Wars comics, entire worlds collide, which is bad news for everyone.
He took my girl. Wait, who are you?
We're the Avengers, man.
Given what we know about Marvel's plans to end the multiverse saga, whatever happens in Avengers Secret Wars means, in all likelihood, that the full arc will bring us once more to a simpler MCU, where infinite possibilities are no longer a narrative escape route. To get to this point, Secret Wars will likely follow some of the general contours of its comic book namesake. For starters, whatever Doctor Doom's plans are, Battleworld is expected to figure into the narrative. In the various editions of Secret Wars, Battleworld comes about as the result of the Beyonders' interest in pitting heroes and villains in a final, winner-takes-all test for his own entertainment. Battleworld also comes about as the result of Doctor Doom salvaging what he can of the various multiversal threads and putting himself in the position as God Emperor Doom.
Call me Doom.
Nobody wants to see a shot-for-shot remake of the comic rendered in live action, so it's more than likely that Marvel and the Russos will add a twist in Avengers Secret Wars. Most importantly, with the possibilities shown in Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine, variations will likely figure largely into the narrative. What this means is that it's quite possible that Battleworld won't merely be a copy of any comic version, but a place where heroes and variations of those heroes, along with villains from the past 16 years, will appear, including those who are believed to be deceased in the central MCU universe. More importantly, characters we previously believed to be good or bad might have different identities in other universes, leading to some interesting variations where characters will have to face themselves in combat. It will be a heavy undertaking, but at this juncture, the MCU likely wants to tie up several loose ends, refine its core roster, and set the course for future installments. What's most important is figuring out what Doctor Doom's motivations are. His past dealings with Reed Richards and the rest of the Fantastic Four may play a large part in his motivations, but Doom doesn't perceive himself as a villain. In fact, he might believe himself to be the hero of the story. After all, many of the worst threats to humanity in the MCU are the direct result of various Avengers making decisions that have unexpected consequences.
It's good to meet you, Dr. Banner.
When Tony Stark and Bruce Banner collaborated on their program to ensure world peace and a world that wouldn't need heroes, they ended up creating Ultron. Meanwhile, Doctor Doom's forays into other universes have led to problems of multiversal logistics, like the possibility of universes being wiped out of existence altogether. Doctor Doom's plan could be to unify all universes into one true universe, and to do so will require taking elements from each universe and ruling over what he believes is best of all worlds. At this point, no mention has been made of the Beyonder or even multiple Beyonders, so it remains to be seen whether Doctor Doom is only one of multiple antagonists for the upcoming Avengers films. However, given what's already established within the MCU, the Beyonder isn't necessary to the proceedings. Through Doctor Strange's various dealings throughout the vast couple of phases, it could already be that Earth-616 is already hurtling along a path towards certain destruction. It's possible that Doctor Doom's plans are already underway if he's privy to the incursions, and has a plan to stop universes from overlapping and negating one another. After all, what greater motivation for a villain than a possibly misguided attempt to right the wrongs that were caused by the heroes? Doctor Doom will ultimately want to rule the world he unifies, but his plans could be more important for keeping proper delineation between universes. While Doom's threat is substantial, there is nothing worse than the possibility of a full universe being nixed from the timeline. Exactly how it all will play out remains to be seen, but fans can certainly expect the Russos to deliver something that pays homage to its comic forebears while charting new territory for this iteration of these famous characters. Let us know how you think Doctor Doom's presence will shake up the MCU in the comments below. Remember to hit subscribe before you go. Thanks for joining us today at CBR.